We had tweeted it out and put it on all the social media stuff. We're gonna give you guys our list of each individual list of our top 5 sports movies of all time.
They're going to be drastically different. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Probably. I think there are maybe more similarity in them than we may think. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna kind of play a little game with it. So we're gonna do a guessing game. So each one of us is gonna try and guess not only what movies are on the list, but where they rank in that top 5.
So anyways, just for kind of like a, I guess, caveat on this or statement, this isn't like what we think universally are the top 5 best sports movies based on, if you were to put a poll up, what we think would be the top 5. These are just our personal favorite top 5 movies. So there's probably going to be movies on this list that you haven't seen or are not making like top 10 lists.
Right. Not all of them were Oscar winners.
Yeah, but we're not trying to guess, what, if you poll everyone in the world, what would be the top 5 ranking movies. We're just putting our 5 favorites. So we'll go through our lists. And then, so we're going to have TJ go first. We're going to start at the bottom 5, work our way up to 1. Bill and I will guess. If we get the movie right in the right spot, it's worth 2 points. If we get the movie right, but it's not in the right spot, so if TJ's on number 5 and we say, whatever movie, and it's not number 5, but it's on the list, then you get 1 point for that. So we'll see who gets it. Each of us will have 2 chances to guess, because we obviously can't guess for ourselves. And then we will see who comes out on top at the end.
So we're going to do number 5, number 5, number 5, 4, 4, 4. Or are we
Or you're going to go
literally
5?
We're going to go probably all through for 2 days, unless you want to do 5s all the way around.
Kind of rather do it that way, to be honest.
That just might be hard to keep track of what we've already guessed for who, if we keep wrapping it around.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right.
That's fine.
Let's do it.
So TJ's going to go first. So we have to
guess
his, we have to guess his number 5.
Are we going to have a different guess? Or do we confer?
We can have a different guess. That's how, if we confer, we would just end up with the same amount of points. Yeah.
Fair point. I'm going to guess Moneyball.
Number 5. See, TJ did try to take it seriously, but he had to throw 1 on there for himself, so I'm going dodgeball number 5.
Also incorrect.
Here's
So
number 1.
what's your number 5?
Space Jam.
Boom.
No.
Space Jam number 5.
Okay. I dig that. You know what? I feel stupid. I didn't even think of Space Jam. I don't think it would have cracked my top 5, but I like that movie a lot.
We should have known that, Michael Jordan, though. Yeah, we should have known that. I would have thought it would have been higher just because of the Michael Jordan thing, but it's also kind of the nostalgia of like being a kid too.
Yeah,
that kind of plays
Space Jam
into
came
the
out
fact.
when we were growing up.
Yeah, that kind of plays into
There's that opening where I think it's
Eric Gordon. The kid in the very beginning of the movies, Eric
Is
Gordon.
Eric
He's a real
Gordon,
like.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Well, there was that opening where there was always like a, I dream of being a professional. And then it has that very first dunk. I remember how tiny little,
Dylan.
this was in El Paso. This was before I was even in Tucson. It was just like a little play hoop. And I would always try to time it. When he would dunk it, I would dunk it too. And I was like, yeah, welcome to the scram.
Wow.
We should have guessed it because he always does that stupid, just out of my way.
Yeah,
or whatever shit.
that is true. He does do that. That
the Daffy
movie,
Duck?
really? No beef with that. No beef with that movie. It's,
Bill Murray wing night? God damn it.
so
Now that you said it, now it's just hella obvious.
Well, now I know the quality of your guys' list is lower than mine.
well. Just a little note, TJ did have a number 1, then the R. Kelly stuff broke, and I Believe I Can Fly took a hit. Then he dropped to number 5.
That's honestly why that was one of my favorite songs forever. Because of that, also that movie.
Only,
This guy's the voice of an angel.
only the girls could fly away.
Wow. You're going to debate even that.
Alright, number 4.
Number 4.
Alright, we're going to make it, once you guess a movie, you can't guess it again.
So he could have Moneyball and...
Well, if you guess Moneyball, you'll get a point, because it's on the list. You'll get 1 point. You just didn't get it the right
I
spot.
thought you just said that I can't guess Moneyball now because I guessed it the first time.
Correct, but you'll still get a point if it's somewhere on the list. 1 point. You get 2 points if you guess the right movie at the right spot.
So he's not going to tell me if Moneyball
Until the
on
end. Until we find out if Moneyball's on there. We'll keep track. Don't worry.
We're gonna forget.
Don't worry. I got faith. Guess number 4.
Gotta have faith, George Michaels.
I can't look at you guys.
Number.
I'm just gonna look at the camera.
If you have one, go for it. I'm trying
I'm going to Remember the Titans.
I will remain silent.
You can guess the same as me if you want.
to. No, like this. You should have said anything, damn it, because now I'm. I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna go The Rookie. What was Remember the Titans?
So can I tell you guys now?
Yes.
So none of us got it right for number 4.
Correct.
Okay, so what's number 4?
Rudy.
Rudy.
Before he was Samwise.
No, shout out to you for going the rookie. That's an interesting pick.
See, the thing is, with you two, I know
you seen
there's
The
gonna
Rookie?
be. Yeah.
With Dennis
No.
Quaid?
The decoy.
What a man!
Yeah, the arm thing.
Yeah.
Elbow, yeah. I'm
A lot
gonna
of
admit
people
I haven't
use
seen it in
elbows.
years, but I've seen it in years. But yes, I have seen The Rookie.
Yes. But yes, nothing wrong with Rudy. I think Rudy's one of those that's, if we did do a poll of everyone in the world, Rudy is probably,
It's up there.
it's up there. It's definitely a,
Fan favorite.
yeah, I think it's a fan favorite. I don't know if it's necessarily a great movie, but I think the story and just the character in itself have like taken on a life of its own, and that kind of propels it to the status of where it's at.
Yeah.
Even though it's the tagline of Dodgeball, Rudy is the true underdog story.
Yeah. Well, then there's also something to be said about sports movies based on true stories
True.
having a kind of a bigger impact. Nothing against Space Jam, but not a true story.
That happened.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the Space Jam sequel comes out. As much as
That's fucking stupid. I don't know why they're making this.
Yeah.
I will admit, as much as I am a LeBron supporter and fan, and I like what LeBron stands for, I don't know why they're making a
Sure you're
sequel.
done?
Sequels never really seem to work out. But we'll see. I mean, the sad thing is, as much as I don't really want them to do it, I'll probably go see it.
I will not.
I probably see.
So, see who the Monstars are. The entire Golden State Warriors team.
Oh no, I was just about to say that. Yeah, KD and Steph.
Steph and Draymond.
Oh,
Steph
okay.
could be. Yep. All right. So number 3.
All right, so now I will not make a peep until both of you guess.
Oh,
So hold on.
Oh, I'm
so far, we've got a basketball movie and a football movie. So there's got to be a baseball one coming up somewhere. All
my guess now is now going to be your guess. I'm gonna go Remember the Titans, number 3.
right, and I'm gonna go Field of Dreams.
My number 3 is Miracle.
TJ's doing one per sport over here. You're showing all the sports some love.
Damn, yeah.
Miracle, another one
Renaissance man.
based on true story.
Based on a true story, and in my opinion, is the greatest victory, at the very least, in American sports history.
Right, because it paralleled the Cold War, fucking Russia.
Correct, and it was probably the biggest upset at the same time in U.S. sports history.
That's one I've seen, but maybe twice in my life.
I honestly think it might have been the biggest upset in sports history, period,
Oh,
until
absolutely.
Leicester City. I think that was
Maybe.
just such a huge upset in the Premier League, but for one game, that
Yeah.
was like the biggest upset in sports history for a long time. It just the impact of the Cold War and Russia just being so dominant and
We had a team of college kids.
yep.
Yep.
So
Crazy story.
all right, number
God,
2.
you're pulling out fucking Miracle. I'm never gonna get one.
Number 2. All right. Problem is that TJ gets a little bit of advantage because I feel like,
We're getting all the guesses out.
well, that, and I feel like our guesses kind of convey our thought process of what we put on our list, but we'll see what happens.
You think I put The Rookie on mine?
No,
I want you to guess that all 5 times.
no, I don't think you put the rookie on yours. I have my specific guesses for you. All right, so TJ's number 2. I'm gonna go because I think you've seen it. I'm gonna go. Ooh. I'm gonna go Rocky.
I'm gonna go Hardball.
Ooh,
My
that's a
number
good guess.
2.
That's a good guess. He does like hardball.
I do like hardball. My number 2 is The Sandlot.
Really? You hit it with two nostalgia. Nostalgia.
Sandlot
beats.
is essentially the exact same thing as Space Jam. Just the
Almost.
nostalgia of being a kid. With
Ironically, I remember Sandlot more than I do Space Jam.
Yeah. One, I mean, obviously The Sandlot, another movie, for our generation, huge staple. Also, kind of, the story itself is sort of representative of somewhat of our kind of how our group of friends has been. We're always together, out doing shit, playing sports, doing whatever. Not always necessarily baseball.
That's
But-
why he likes it, because he was the one that always hit the balls in other people's yards.
or under their cars while they were in there. One time, made
Sure,
a,
go ahead.
that
Just
lady,
hit my car.
yeah, that lady had like a heart attack under the car while she was in there. That machine gun went off.
The first thing, your first hit. Oh man.
Well, throw it faster.
Yeah, TJ used to pull the ball into the street every single time. We used to play baseball with tennis balls because we didn't want to destroy the houses. Well, TJ didn't want to destroy the houses. and the cul-de-sac, and TJ would pull the ball every time, just over the house into the street
Yeah, on the
the other side of
22nd.
the houses.
Yeah, purely because I can mirror our childhood to that movie in some areas.
Well, right now,
That's a
Bill,
good- that's a good
we're
one.
looking at Goose Egg.
Yes, you are.
If we don't get number
because now number one is just
one could be just
literally anything. So okay, so there's no Cubs movies. I could be
there
wrong.
is Rookie of the Year.
You didn't.
I told you, I'm looking
know.
at the camera.
I don't know.
I don't count that as your guess.
The problem is, I don't know if Rookie of the Year's on the damn list.
You know what? He's thrown
Let's put it.
curveballs this entire time. I know what I'm gonna guess for number one.
I have to guess it.
Dodgeball.
I'm gonna go. As much as there's been a list of TJ's movies, I'm gonna go Hoosiers.
My number one, and granted, I don't know how this worked exactly for you guys. So I think it was you. You get a point. My number one is Remember the Titans.
That's a Remember Titans too.
Okay, so
He did. We both get a point.
You guys both said it as my 5.
No, I said it as your 4. He said
I
it's your
said that's
3.
your 3.
So yeah.
It's 5, I guess. I think I guessed Dodgeball for the 5.
Do you want me to list my honorable mentions?
Sure.
Well,
Or do you want to wait till the end? We'll wait till the
I didn't
end.
even wait.
Okay.
Okay, so Bill and I had 1
Because
point each.
just by the virtue of doing this, we're mentioning a lot of movies anyway.
Yeah,
True.
so we can go through some honorable mentions. So Bill and I get a point each. Remember the Titans. Obviously,
Well guessed on Hardball. Hardball is a phenomenal movie.
It was.
TJ used to love Hardball.
Still a good
Call me
movie.
Big Papa. But Remember the Titans, another one based on a true story. Can't go wrong with anything Denzel's in.
Yeah, I mean that movie. I mean, outside of the story alone, the actual football scenes were well shot and well done. And the acting was just so incredible. And yeah, I mean Denzel is amongst the best of all time as far as I'm concerned.
I think
he turned in a grade A performance.
Yeah. And I think a little nostalgia with that one too, because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I used to watch that in school every year.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
like,
Oh, it's on
yeah, it's still on
TNT,
now.
TBS, Disney Channel. It's a
So-
Disney Channel movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
So-
it's always on.
So after, I think it is a Disney movie. So after a while, it's just, I don't watch it every time it's on, but if it's on, a lot of times I'll watch a good piece of it,
Hell yeah.
no
Hell yeah.
matter where it's at. So,
I always love just the Coach Yost.
all right, want to recap it?
So
Your top
let's get
5,
them
just so
in
we
the
can have
video.
more
Yeah,
order.
so starting at 5, my number 5 was Space Jam. Number 4 was Rudy. 3 was Miracle. 2 was The Sandlot. And number 1, Remember the Titans.
For me, the only curveball was Space Jam because I was too stupid enough to even
Yeah,
think of
we
it.
should-
I didn't even remember it.
I wonder if TJ wouldn't have had it at 5, I feel like one of us would have guessed it eventually. But since it was at 5, we just didn't have it for that first guess. But
That's
we'll
true.
see.
That to your point, that's why
Yeah,
I did have
little
the advantage.
thinking about it. So, all right, you want to go next? Or you want me to go?
I can go.
All right.
All right.
Mine is very different.
All right, so we're gonna guess Bilf's. So,
Probably shouldn't have said that.
just a recap, what'd you have? TJ had what? 2 footballs, a hockey, a baseball, and a basketball. TJ had a good mix. All right. So we're going on to Bilf. We have to guess number 5.
Number 5.
I'm going original Rocky for Bilf, number 5.
Original Rocky.
Are we gonna do like so? Rocky's a little bit different. If Rocky is on the list of any of the versions, do we count this as a point or no?
I think personally, I think you would have to list the specific Rocky.
Fair. Yeah. Fair.
And side note, the original Rocky's the best one. Boom.
Better than Creed?
I think so,
Yeah.
personally. Though Creed was phenomenal.
I think Creed builds off of not just the first Rocky, but all of Stallone's performances, because he fucking killed it in Creed too.
He did.
And honestly made you love those movies just a little bit more because of that.
That's true. My guess.
It's hard for the first one. You have no idea where the list is
number
going.
5 is tough. I'm actually going to slot my number 1 in there. I'm going to go Remember the Titans.
My number 5, The Sandlot.
Ooh! We'll be going to on the list.
I thought I showed my hand too much because I was like, oh, I put our childhood with that because I loved it. It's fucking unbelievable. I fucking love Sandlot.
It is.
It's an unfortunate movie I don't watch too often anymore, but every time I do, remember
It's like a good summer movie, yeah. Benny the Jet.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
And kissing
Oh no, they did the
Wendy
thumbs up.
Peppercorn.
That's what it was.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Exactly, because it's more than just also the baseball. You got the fair. What's that? Cha. No, just pee you up a
Wendy
storm.
Peppercorn. See, that was like one of the first movies I remember watching as a kid where I heard other kids swear. Where he's like, "Oh man, he's in deep shit."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Fine, just continue about the day." I remember hearing that. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, the bad thing is, not that I've seen it within the past few years. Remember the last time I saw it, though, I was like, it probably didn't age too well. The story's still there, but I don't think it'd be like a generational movie for like our kids. I don't think they would gravitate it towards, because they don't have. I mean, they do still have your cul-de-sac stickball playing, but
they're too disconnected from that type of era.
I honestly believe
the playing outside.
I think our generation
and baseball in general
caught the tail end of it, and also the beginning of phones and shit.
Yeah,
video games.
So, all right, Joe. Bill's leading us off. A little curveball right off the bat.
Number 4. You know, I don't know why this just popped into my head, and I'm gonna guess it as my number 4. Coach Carter.
That's a good guess for Bill. Bill used to like that movie a lot. Number 4, I'm going to stick with the theme because I don't know if it's number 4, but I have a feeling it's on the list, and I'm going to go Warrior.
Number 4, The Fighter.
Ooh, you weren't far off.
Close.
Christian Bale.
I'm just guessing all the wrong fighting movies.
Christian Bale, Mark Wahlberg. Although, to this day, every time someone says Richmond, I will always say Richmond. And the thing is, my mother, she still doesn't get it. There's a subdivision right by their house. It's all Richmond homes. She's like, "Oh, did you check those Richmond homes? Rich what? Richmond. Huh. Got it." Adriana, unfortunately, has caught on to it. So I just get the death stare. But The Fighter,
that's the one. Wahlberg's a fighter, and Christian Bale had to lose all the weight, right? Doesn't he like super skinny drug addict?
yeah, he's
He's
Dick
Mickey
Eklund
Ward.
and
Mickey Ward.
Wahlberg's Mickey Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be one of his best acting movies, to be honest. And not just because he lost all that fucking weight. Good lord, he looks scary, but also Mark Wahlberg. I criticized his acting at some points, but that was exactly the perfect role for him. Your average Northeastern guy who's kind of down on his luck. That is almost Mickey Wahlberg. I was going to say Mickey Wahlberg. Almost Mark Wahlberg in real person if he wasn't filthy rich. But I feel like that suits his personality.
Not him at all.
Well, I feel like that fits his personality, and that's why that's one of his better acting roles.
I agree. That is one of Wahlberg's better movies, for sure. All right. Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Ooh. Trying to think if you went serious all the way. I'm going to go Remember the Titans here. That's because I think I have a beat on your top 2.
God, this is tough, man. Oh.
There's just so many out there that when they say it, you didn't even like think about it.
Yeah. You know, I think Bill might have gone a little curveball. Maybe even more outlandish than you guys thought I would have gone for dodgeball. I'm gonna say Bill threw us for a loop. He threw in Happy Gilmore.
As much as I love the opening of that.
Drano!
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. While we're on the subject of first time we've seen things, like Sandlot, Remember the Titans was the first movie I saw. 2 guys kissing each other. yeah, that's a very weird thing to say about that movie. But I was like, that's a thing? You can do that? That's weird. And
Wow.
it's not bad. Just saying, as a kid, first time I've seen it, I was like, it's a weird thing to put in a child's movie. Which obviously Disney figured out because usually now when it's on cable, they don't show that scene. But yeah, weird little tidbit there.
You
But
looking
yeah,
at movies?
The movie's phenomenal. Yeah, I fucking love it. Coach Yost, your bits are night.
There are some great scenes in that
Yeah.
movie. I want them to gain another yard.
Then actually one of my favorite characters is also Hayden Panettiere, the little girl, just because, you know, when fucking Ron Gosling's character gets taken out for oh my god, I'm forgetting their
He's
names.
just getting beat repeatedly.
Yeah.
Put Petey in.
Yeah, and then the Petey. There you go. The Petey, and then you got the father. Hey, what are you doing, Yost? And then the girl goes, he's getting beat like a redhead stepchild. I don't know if that's exactly what she says, but she says something along those lines. She's like, shut up, girl. And I was like, that's hilarious. So she didn't care. She just didn't want to win.
Got to make the tough choices.
Yeah.
All right.
Coach
Number 2.
Yost. Number
You said you think you got a beat on his number 2.
dos.
I have one that I think might be up there, and I'm gonna go. He Got Game.
Okay.
I'm going to slot Rocky into this one. I know you guessed it earlier, but I'm going to throw it in here.
My number 2 is Warrior.
Dang, I knew it was on the list.
Warrior. I think that one shows a little bit of my bias, but when acting
It's still a
wise,
phenomenal
fucking
movie.
Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton. I meant to look up who played their father.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte. There you go. He fucking put in performance of the year right there.
Even the trainer for Joel
Grillo.
Egerton in that movie, yeah,
Frank Grillo.
it's Frank Grillo, who went on to. That was like his first movie that I remember him being in.
Yeah, same.
And he's money in that also.
I think I remember him being in End of Watch. I can't remember which one he came out first. Frank Grillo, and then on the fighting side, I mean, I think Nate Marquardt, Rumble Johnson, Kurt Angle was
Yeah.
your
Your
Russian unbeatable Koba guy. So some of the fights, you know, oh yeah, Tom Hardy can beat everybody with one punch, and Joel Edgerton can submit everybody. Cool, but just the story of the two brothers. They only see each other twice, right before the fight, and then that's the last fight.
Yeah.
Should have seen that coming if you haven't seen it. It makes me sad that movie didn't get as much recognition as it should have. I don't see it anywhere on anyone's list.
Yeah.
I don't hear anybody talking about it. It makes me really sad because that's an awesome movie.
I think too that one, I do really like that movie a lot also, and it was like the first kind of UFC movie, and it like I think really helped because it wasn't just like an all action, like there wasn't much fighting in the movie kind of until the end.
Really.
Because Tom Hardy's fights are like 4 seconds long, and all then like most of
Yeah.
them until he fights his brother because he just knocks everyone out like immediately. And it was just a really good story centered around a sport at that time that didn't really have its own movie, and it actually did a really good job because it. I mean, Nick Nolte's obviously had his problems, but Tom Hardy wasn't real big at that point. At that point in time,
That was the movie he did right before he was Bane.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
so he had done like Inception.
Yep.
Which I mean was a big movie, but he wasn't like as big as he is now. Like, and then
He wasn't a main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so yeah, I actually really liked Warrior a lot, and I figured just as soon as I knew we were going to do this, I knew it was going to be on your list somewhere because it's. I remember going to see that like the weekend it came out.
All right. Number 1.
We did. That was when we were in California, and I won that stupid elephant in your face.
I don't think it was that. I think we saw Harry Potter then.
Nope. I think it was the
Was
Warrior.
it?
I think it
I
was
don't
the Warrior.
remember. I don't remember what movie we saw.
I thought it was Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Could be wrong. I don't remember where I saw that one.
I don't know.
I thought it was Warrior.
Warrior was phenomenal, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good pick.
love Warrior.
All right. Filthy's top spot. You said you got the answer.
Well,
That's good.
I
Let's see
wonder
you're
if
right.
I wonder if Rocky is here now at the 1, but I've already guessed that, so I gotta guess something else. Coach Carter wouldn't be a horrible guess either.
You already guessed that too.
TJ already
I
guessed
guessed that,
TJ already guessed
Oh,
that. If you already know, go ahead because I gotta think for a second.
You know, I'm gonna go a little probably out of the mainstream, but just knowing Bilf and how he is, I could see I'm kind of tossed between two that may be kind of outside of popular pick. I'm gonna go White Man Can't Jump.
that's a good one too.
That's a good guess. So I'm gonna guess Coach Carter only because I think it's Rocky, and I've already guessed that.
It's Rocky.
There it is. So I get a point.
That was probably my hardest decision with the 2 and the
That's
1.
both, dipshit.
Did you have Rocky? You had Rocky earlier.
I guess Rocky earlier,
Yeah, I was gonna say you. That's why I feel.
I only had
you've
one.
done it as
I
you
only
go.
got one on that
Oh,
list.
was it?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, yeah, Rocky's a fucking classic. To be honest, like even considered putting Warrior above it, but I was like, no, I can't do that because Rocky's just too iconic, and I love that movie as well.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky is a classic. And, Sylvester Stallone those were some of his best performances in those movies, and it is one of those movies that kind of stands the test of time, and it is always going to be talked about. When we're talking about sports movies of all time, it's going to be up there.
Well,
So,
it just you talk about movies, so you remember movies. There are phenomenal movies, but you remember certain movies just based on iconic scenes. And him running the steps in Philly is just one of the more iconic scenes in not just sports movie history,
They have a
just any
statue of
movie
it.
history.
well, you have a statue of a fictional character
Like,
in the city of
Philly.
Philadelphia. Like
So,
that's how iconic that movie was.
you just remember, movies become, they stand the test of time for scenes like that. And that's, one of the things it has. And I think one thing we didn't mention is that I'm sure you guys did too, but I started with, a list of, 20 movies and had to figure out
I
5.
kind of narrowed it down.
So it's
from
we
there.
all can't be on 5. So, all right. So
Yeah, and one more thing about
go ahead.
Rocky, that was one of the first movies that I saw where the titular character lost, and I was like, this movie came out before we were fucking born. I was like, wait, he lost, but that was the point of it. Right? It was the journey. It was his comeback. He was finding his true love.
Yep. All right, recap your 5 real quick.
My 5. All right, number 5, Sandlot. Number 4, The Fighter. Yeah, it is the Firefighter. I think it's The Fighter.
Fighter.
Yep.
Number 3, Remember the Titans. Number 2, Warrior. Number 1, Rocky.
All right.
I'm glad you did not put the rule of ball sports on me.
Problem is there's a lot of good baseball movies. I think Ben will probably have a healthy mixture of those in his top 5.
So going into maybe the final one, obviously I've got to go twice. That's why I have 5 points. TJ and both have 1. So both of you need to
Lovely.
get my list pretty good here to catch up. But obviously I can't get any points. So all right. So we'll do number 5. Whenever you guys are ready.
Number 5.
I have to try to stare at the camera. Not give anything away.
I think if he's gonna go semi not serious, semi guilty pleasure, this might be where it goes. So I'm gonna go Dodgeball.
I don't think Ben would include Dodgeball in his top 5 sports movies.
That might have been too left field.
I am going to go... I think here is where you would slot the Sandlot.
Number 5 for me is Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore! Damn it!
It's
We're on the right track.
It's one of those ones that I remember just TBS when we were growing up used to show just repeated Adam Sandler movies, and I would watch Happy Gilmore every time it comes on.
That's funny.
Just-
Mine was Big Daddy.
Just Shooter McGavin and just the Price is Wrong.
The Price is Wrong, bitch.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby.
What a piece of meat!
It's just one of those. Adam Sandler, he's made some duds recently, but Happy Gilmore is one of those ones that I'll just laugh every time I watch it.
Oh yeah,
It's just perfect. So
Chubbs Peterson.
had to give Happy. And again, personal list. It's just one of those things where I think a lot of us we pick these movies you just feel good when you watch that movie, and that's one of those movies.
Yeah.
All right, so number 4.
Not a good.
You guys want a hint so we can try to make this close?
No, we didn't give hints for the first 2, so I don't think we should give hints here. I think I'm going to slot my first baseball movie in here, Moneyball.
I was gonna slot my first one too, and it was one that he said, "Field of Dreams."
So my hint was going to be that this movie hasn't been guessed yet.
What?
And I went Major League.
Baseball.
That is on my honorable mentions list.
Major League is another one, just iconic, just characters with Charlie Sheen,
Charlie Sheen.
and Wesley Snipes as Willie Mays Hayes. And just also kind of the feel-good story of their last place team. And I always remember they did the cardboard cutout of the owner that didn't want them to win. And they peel out the pieces of her dress every time they won a game. And then with Jake Taylor. So Major League I have is 4.
All right. Number 3.
Gosh, too many fucking movies.
Number 3. I think this may be a curveball for how I'm thinking, but I'm gonna put in Coach Carter in this spot. We used to watch Coach Carter a lot when we were kids.
It's because it's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I'm gonna go The Natural.
That's a good guess. It's actually a really good guess. But for number 3, I have For the Love of the Game.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I don't have it.
So this is probably The Natural. I think that's Robert Redford. Is phenomenal as well. And For the Love of the Game, for all the movies that Kevin Costner has done resulting in baseball, this is probably the one that people forget about the most. Because I think Field of Dreams is like the fan favorite.
Right.
And then Bull Durham is also really
Yeah.
good as well. I just always like Field of Dreams. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but he's basically a pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Their team sucks. He's like 40. And in his last game, so basically the whole movie takes place while one baseball game is going on. He's pitching. And John C. Reilly is the catcher in the movie.
That's fine.
And essentially, like, it's like the last year of his career. So it's like going through, like, his wife left him and he's having all these problems and he's getting older. Well, during this, like, they're doing this and he's pitching. Well, he's end up pitches like a perfect game while it goes through his life. And at the end, before he walks out on the field for last inning, he like signs the baseball and gives it to the owner and says, "I'm done." Like he's retiring after this game. And then he goes out there and just he's pitching in Yankee Stadium, so he's getting like haggled, and then it's like showing clips of his life through each inning. So it was always a fan favorite. Kevin Costner hasn't made a bad baseball movie, so I don't know if he's really made a bad movie in general. But all right.
Number 2. This is where I'm going to slot Remember the Titans. I think this is where you got
Didn't you already guess it?
No, you guess.
them. Sandlot was my first one.
Yeah, and then I forget what other ones you guess.
I guess Moneyball,
Moneyball,
Coach Carter,
Coach Carter,
and now Remember the Titans.
Really? We're all gonna have it? I'm gonna cast a wide net here. So if you get it, you get it. Rocky.
TJ Drano, Remember the Titans, number 2.
Bang!
Oh my
I think that signifies just the movie that was kind of like the sports movie of our time.
Oh, yeah.
growing up.
Oh, for sure.
Easily.
All 3 of us have it on our list. I think we all have it in the top 3. TJ has it 1, I have it 2.
Mine is 3.
Yeah, so I'm in the top 3 of our movies. So
So shut up,
I think we've talked enough about Remember the Titans, but
Yeah.
just phenomenal.
We did remember the Titans.
We did.
Brownie points for the Titans actually doing a little dance this past year.
Yeah, that was money.
All right.
What do you think
Number
they are? The
1.
New York Giants?
Number 1.
Time is run out.
Number 1.
What is something that is?
This is where I'm going to put in Field of Dreams. I think this is where you put it.
I would have gone The Natural if I was going to go all in. I think I already guessed For the Dreams too.
You did.
Because I feel like it's going to be a fucking classic though. So
If
Ben builds a list,
it will be here.
Good educated guess, Sophie. Come on. You got this. You got this.
good educated guess. Benjamin Beckham.
That was your educated guess?
It was not. Oh no, that's goal.
This is number 1 movie.
You want another guess? Because it's not goal.
No, because I have a feeling I already guessed it. That's the problem.
Then guess a different good movie.
The Natural.
You already guessed that.
Guess
That's
that.
my point.
The Natural is not it either.
Please God, guess something other than goal.
It's
Guess
not-
Hoosiers.
It's
Guess
not,
something.
it's not a soccer movie.
Caddyshack.
I'll give you Caddyshack. Okay. that's
Number
respectable.
1, I put The Sandlot. So TJ gets another point.
Oh.
But just too classic.
Yeah, Sandlot is money.
Wow,
Yeah.
remember the Titans and
Sandlot made all the lists.
That's funny.
So we can go
Goes to
through.
show you where we grew up in.
We could go through honorable mentions. I think I almost guessed all my honorable mentions. I had Warrior on there, Field of Dreams. I put Dodgeball. He got Game.
I had Rocky, Hoosiers, Major League, Happy Gilmore. Another one I had in there was Total Curveball, Cool Runnings. Was one of my favorite movies.
I had League of Their Own, Talladega Nights.
League of Their Own was good. Yeah.
I did have Coach Carter, and then Love and Basketball.
Yeah. I thought about putting He Got Game in there.
Yeah.
He Got Game was phenomenal too. Man, that's tough. That's tough to come up with the list.
All right, well, that will conclude it for episode 30. Again, hope you guys like our movie list, our talk on baseball. Baseball starts in 2 days. And we're going to hit the lull here of where it's just going to be baseball here pretty soon. So let's enjoy these last.
We'll start doing a lot more top fives.
I guess, yeah.
I like that.
So we'll become a top 5 podcast.
A lot of quiet Bill feed. You just
Yeah.
come over to my house and do it. I'll just be
Yeah.
downstairs playing video games.
So,
Yeah, for an Apex win.
I guess we got
Call Bill.
yeah. I guess we got a couple months left with NBA playoffs coming through, but college basketball's about to be over, and then we get playoffs, and then it'll be time for the NFL draft, and we'll get to circle back at the NFL draft and all that stuff. Or these two are gonna have to just come to the realization that Kyler's gonna go.
I saw Mel Kiper update the skateboard and Kyler said it's number 1.
If Mel can change his mind, so
Because
because that's even his job.
Yeah, that's well, Mel changes his mind about 48 times before the thing, so he looks like a genius.
Fair point.
Mel changes it right after they draft him.
I had him at number 2. I'm like,
Called it.
All right, well, thanks guys for watching. Again, comment, like, DM Bilf. Just send him some pics.
dick pics.
Yeah, preferably. Big dick pics. The BDPs. Send them over.
Big dick pics. Got it.
Please don't call them the BDPs.
That's what they are.
Oh boy. All right, we'll see you guys next week.